The Train Remake is out. Yay! And inside the word train, you can also find rain, which is the main selling point for the map. Valve knew what they were doing and even teased us, so we knew that it was going to be a wet map. And sure enough, it is a rainy map. Even the drops fall onto the player model's arms and hands, which is honestly a really cool feature. But it seems that they thought it through very carefully with where it would rain, to the point that it won't affect the most important parts of the map. So let's see and compare the changes that have been made for CS2 right after Skins Monkey.
Skins Monkey is an automated service that lets you trade skins instantly for a fee, sign up now, and get up to $5 bonus. Simply add items from your inventory, then find skins that matches your current balance. Site offers live support 24/7. You can also top up your balance if you're missing a few dollars, and there's a lot of skins to choose from. Visit my link down below to get to Skins Monkey.
So let's focus on the different parts of the map, now starting with CT spawn, where the entire area now feels like a checkpoint. Layout is quite similar to what we're used to, but a big new gameplay element is this loading dock, which yes, you can jump up and play from. I suppose the idea here was to introduce something new, but it would have been cool if it required a boost. The path to A is similar, and the entrance to B feels wider, but the entrance itself is still narrow, and the back path also feels similar. But now let's go to B, which received a major overhaul to focus on being more open. The most notable thing here is the removal of the big yellow train in the middle. Here's another angle which immediately you see a big difference, with this passageway being blocked now. The idea here seems to be that since the site is more open now, Valve didn't want to introduce too many long-range angles, so they basically cut this off. It also ends up being cover now from both sides, and it totally changes T's perspective as they're coming up from upper B with less angles to worry about. But the back of B seems very empty now. There's more space to play around the elevation here from connector, which I think is a great change. The platform for site itself has changed from 2 to 1 singular unit. You can still reach the top of this piece if you want to play from here. And the back of site looks a little goofy with this comparison, but you can still see the similarities. The reason it looks weird is because of this new shipping container poking out, which fills out this old empty space. What's interesting here is the change of the ladder. In CSGO, you have to drop off sideways. It almost feels like they wanted to make it more noob friendly, and it also removes the ability to play this cheeky angle up on the ladder, which of course is no longer possible. But seeing these changes on B, let's compare them now to the changes on A. This part of the map has changed so much, it's going to play out completely different from its old version. One of Train's defining features is playing around the trains, allowing players to flank and outsmart their enemies. This version of Train is more focused on open areas and taking fights head on. Olaf is practically gone with the removal of Train, and it seems Valve wanted to balance it out by tilting the red train, which you can now surf on. Another thing is the roof. Since CS2 has no skybox and old Train on A was mostly outside, Valve did the sort of inferno treatment here by partially blocking the site area to make smoke lineups less OP, but there's still a lot of real estate left for some interesting lineups. Site itself is also different, with a single elevated unit on top instead of the 2, and even heaven is now blocked off. They even decided to leave the ladder as sort of a tribute. Instead, this is now just a cozy corner. Hell itself is still there, it has its signature space, but the train that you normally used to play around now blocks the other passage out, so the only way through is from the left side, which is super tight now. Interestingly, you can still climb up from this end of the train, even though you'd be open now to A main completely. And this part of the map has also seen major changes. This left entrance used to be open. Instead, they've opened up this middle entrance, which means it's possible to hold the A main push without even going outside. A2 and A3 is also connected now from the inside, and here's the other entrance to Hell. And because of the left entrance now being closed, you could play from here to hold Ivy, which is a completely new angle. A main is slightly different, but still very familiar. However, because of the outside changes, the initial contact from main to connector is blocked off. You can still catch someone going pop dog. Here's the other way around, and these changes are intentional to have less early angle engagements, but again, this entire remake of Train, with the removal of trains, shows a new shift or focus for the map with less places to hide or lurk. Train has basically decided to be more open and more simple in terms of its layout. Moving on to T-Spawn, we now have an actual train station where the new rain effect is on full display. It makes sense to have the rain effect at both spawns. And the layout is very similar, the pathways as well, and instead of only hearing the trains, we can now also see the trains moving. Weird CS2 flex. We still have this container for lineups, and we have this new cozy little area instead of that dumpster area. Ugh. Jumping over to Alley and Ivy, there's some really cool details here with the water pouring down the sides, but gameplay wise it plays out very much the same. Entering Ivy, we see small changes here to again simplify the layout. If we go over to B halls, or what I like to call banana, it's very similar. Even the pillar on the right is still there, but the crates are gone. This removed a couple good hiding spots. If we look behind us, we see the stairs and the old dive down shortcut, which is now a hole in the wall, along with a completely new path down to Pop Dog. Yes, we now have to go through this corridor instead of relying on a ladder. This is one of the biggest changes to the map's layout, and I think Valve wanted to address Pop Dog specifically because of the ladder. Having a ladder as the main object between teams has led to some really awkward moments, and it basically spawned a lot of party tricks. This change seems to focus on, keeping things simple. This, however, also means that it takes more time now to reach A through Pop Dog as a T, which might not be as viable as it used to be, and rotating back up to A main and Ivy will cost even more time, which is a huge change. And as a CT, if you manage to get into Pop, you can flank Ts running towards B without having to worry the same way that someone is holding the ladder. But we'll see how the map plays and how it changes. And there you have it. That was Train. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you found something cool with this map or any Easter eggs, please also share them. I'll cover those and the patch notes in a separate video. Peace.